What is up, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another Top 25. And today we're looking at my Top 25 most anticipated games in order. So these are the games in terms of excitement level, stuff that I want to see, things that I'm getting hyped for in 2023 and 2024. We've got a big gaming season over the next 6 months or so going into 2024. So I had to make a video breaking down all of the best games that I think you guys should be checking out and be hyped for. Now, before we get into it, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell for the absolute best Nintendo Switch RPG live streams content on YouTube. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. And we're starting off at number 25 with Luigi's Mansion 2. This game is coming summer 2024 to the Nintendo Switch, and I'm really excited to see this just because it's a 3DS game coming over to a modern platform. If Nintendo can take all of their Nintendo 3DS first-party games and port them over with HD graphics and remaster them, I would be very happy because the Nintendo 3DS is dead. They shut down the eShop. The online is going to be done pretty soon here as well. So I want to see more of these 3DS games being brought over. And one of them that I would love to see is Kid Icarus Uprising. That is a phenomenal 3DS game. So I am interested in seeing 3DS games being adapted over to Nintendo Switch and how much better they look and the controls, how they feel and play, because I did like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon when it originally released on the 3DS, but that small screen and the lower resolution, I think it'd be pretty dope to go through and play it on the big screen or play it on an OLED Nintendo Switch with modern controls and everything. So looking forward to seeing how they adapt that over to the Switch platform. Coming in at number 24, Professor Leighton and the New World of Steam. It supposedly or might come out in 2024. I guess there's not an official date, but I'm guessing that's when. And Professor Leighton is a game that I'm not really huge on, but I want to see level 5 and what they can do. Now that Professor Leighton has made the jump, it seems like graphically and story-wise and gameplay-wise, they're going to do some incredible things with this game. Now, there isn't much to go off of, but it's still exciting as they announced it at a Nintendo Direct back, I think, in February. So clearly they wanted to show people that this is going to be a return to form. This is going to be the next big Leighton adventure, and I want to see how it all plays out as a Nintendo Switch title so late into the game. So number 24, Professor Leighton and the New World of Steam. Next up at number 23, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This game's coming out February 2nd, 2024. And yes, I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. Wait a minute, OJ likes this type of live service game? No, I don't actually like this type of live service game, but I do love me some Rocksteady. They're one of my favorite developers. They developed all the dope Batman games, my favorite superhero games of all time. So I want to see how they're going to be able to adapt this. Now, we had that massive delay of about 1 year. So I'm excited to see exactly what they do to shape up this game. Now, apparently it's still going to be live service, but you don't take a year delay to do nothing. You obviously have to do some stuff because it wasn't like the frame rate and the graphics were bad. They were really good. So something major is happening behind the scenes, whether they're changing up how the gameplay works with some of the characters, they're making it more authentic to those characters instead of everybody just kind of shooting. I think that there could be some dramatic things. Now, when it comes to the live service structure, it is what it is there. But I'm still excited to see how Rocksteady does this world with the Suicide Squad, and the story looks great in terms of like evil Justice League members and everything. I love that when the good guys kind of are like the bad guys and the bad guys are kind of the good guys. So I love the roles reversed, and I want to see where this game goes. So to me, it's exciting to see how they re-reveal this game. So February 2nd, 2024. Next up at number 22, Marvel's Spider-Man. That's coming out soon, October 20th. And listen, guys, I'll be completely honest here. I do play and buy the Spider-Man games, but I'm not in love with them. And it's all my fault. And it's all my fault because I played like a million Spider-Man games all throughout the years. Back in the day, in the 90s, 2000s and everything. Like, I played so many Spider-Man games, I got burnt out on Spider-Man. And by the time that the really sick Spider-Man games come from Insomniac and Sony, I'm already burnt out. And I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's one of my favorite superheroes out there. So the fact that I got burnt out on it, I'm hoping that something in this game, something in Spider-Man 2 really gets me to love Spider-Man video games again. I didn't really see that with Insomniac Spider-Man or even Miles Morales, but with the fast loading, with the new abilities, everything they showed off with Spider-Man 2, I'm hoping that I can finally get back into loving Spider-Man video games again. So that's exciting when it comes down to it. Next up at number 21, the Plucky Squire. Now, this is a weird looking game. It's kind of like a storybook game, and it's made by one of the guys that used to be on the Pokemon team and everything. So it's pretty interesting in that respect. But essentially, you got these storybook characters that discover this three-dimensional world outside of the pages of their own book that they're in. And they have to kind of jump and run and do different stuff in between a 2D and 3D realms to save all of their friends in this charming action adventure. And yeah, man, like, I'm looking forward to seeing how this game goes. Now, it was supposed to be a 2023 game, but now it's going to be 2024. So I think that these type of creative, cool art style games are so fun to kind of like try out. It's something new, brand new IP, so I like that. It's exciting to see how it'll work out, and I'm excited to kind of go through the different like 2D and 3D and how it works on like a storybook. I always felt that that art style works really well, the bright colors and vibrancy, and with the modern platforms, I think that this is the perfect time to get a game like this. Now, coming in at number 20 is Saga Emerald Beyond. This is coming early 2024, and I was blown away that there is a new full-end Saga game. Now, they've been doing a lot of remakes, re-releases, remasters of the older games, but now it's time for a new one. You've got a bunch of different characters you can use, a bunch of different styles of characters, different backgrounds. It's really diverse, and I think that the gameplay and what they've shown from the graphics is really impressive overall. I didn't expect Square Enix to invest this type of money into a Saga game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth type of money, or even Dragon Quest, but it's still way better than what I thought, and I'm excited to see how it's going to work out. It's really cool to kind of anticipate a brand new Saga game that just looks fantastical and looks whimsical and has all these different abilities and crazy setups and magic and armor and different paths to take. So this is great. It's so great, and I am going to be supporting Saga Emerald Beyond. Definitely going to be buying it on multiple different platforms here because I want to see this franchise go. I want to see Square Enix continue with the great AA support. Now, coming in at number 19, Persona 5 Tacticia. This is on November 17th, and I'm anticipating this game because it's a smaller, bite-sized tactics game in the Persona universe. It's exactly what's advertised, and I think that the Persona team with their spin-offs, they've done a great job with the spin-offs and kind of spin-offs or things that aren't the normal mainline Persona games. If you go back and look, Persona 5 Strikers was fantastic. They adapted a different gameplay style to those characters incredibly well. And with Persona 5 Tacticia, it's one of those games where they are really taking the time to study, or they took the time to study the tactics formula and what makes those games fun on a smaller scale, what makes Fire Emblem fun, what makes the best strategy RPGs fun, and they've put it into the Persona universe. So if every RPG developer that makes turn-based RPGs, traditional or action RPGs, want to make a tactics RPG, strategy RPG, I'm all down for it. The music sounds incredible, the graphics are chibi-ized, if that's a word, and cute looking, but still very clean overall. So the game has a lot going for it. I do think that it might run into a little bit of issues at first, but there'll be some discounts, and I think people will really warm up to this game because I think it's going to get solid review scores and be a good game overall. Next up at number 18 is Allan Wake 2. And I was not hyped for Allan Wake. I was not anticipating it beforehand. But man, those previews hit and I'm like, okay, I'm getting me some Resident Evil 2 vibes. Resident Evil 2 remake, but then even hyped up more than what that game was with what they're trying to do. It's coming out October 27th. They delayed it a bit just because there's so many games coming out and they wanted to give people time for that, especially October. But man, it looks great. It looks great. The sound design is awesome. The graphics are fantastic. And it looks like they're really going to take that psychological edge that Allan Wake has always done, but it looks like they've like kind of cranked it up to the next level here with the new systems with Xbox Series and PlayStation 5. So very exciting to see where Allan Wake goes. Even if I don't end up liking it myself a lot, I'm anticipating people playing it and me watching them play, and it's really fun and cool and scary to watch people play the game as well. So yes, Allan Wake 2 coming October 27th. Looking forward to that. Next up at number 17 is Evening Chronicle 100 Heroes. April 23rd, we finally got a release date for this bad boy. This is the classic designed, it's a modern take though, classic designed JRPG experience, modern take on pretty much every platform right now. So you've got to lead over 100 playable characters. That's a lot of playable characters through a war-torn world that only you can save. Yes, when they said classic JRPG experience, they meant it, but I love the dynamicness of what they're doing. It's almost like their own take on the HD, 2D, and the different dynamics of combat with that. And I love the camera angle. Almost gives me like a Golden Sun vibe when you're fighting. So this is great. This is incredible to see the team that made some of the best classic RPGs out there and see them make their own game after so many years. The Kickstarter all those years ago, and it's finally coming together in 2024, April 23rd, right around birthday for me, a little bit after. So I am excited to finally get this RPG after all of these years. Now coming in at number 16 is a ghost, and it's called Hollow Knight Silksong. Where is this game? And I'm guessing if it doesn't come out this year, which I don't think it's coming out this year, it has to come out next year. There is no way this game doesn't come out next year. Now I have a crazy tinfoil hat theory. Please spare me, guys. Please listen to this. I think maybe, just maybe, they're like, hey man, Switch 2 is around the corner. Switch 1 has already ran its course. We can launch it on Switch 1 and on Switch 2 and on Xbox Game Pass and on PlayStation 5 and on every single whatever service they want to do, or whatever money they're going to rope out from people through services with Luna, Amazon, or Netflix, or whatever else. Let's get it on everything. Let's put together all the deals, because we've been working on this game for like 8, 9, 10 years or something like that. No, obviously they haven't been, but it's been a long time. So to me, they're gonna do like the Sea of Stars thing, right? Sea of Stars, they were more upfront with their game and what they were getting, but Sea of Stars was first just like PC and Switch, and then it came over to everything, and then they got deals with Game Pass and PS Plus. So I'm guessing that they're working out all the business side. So I'm hoping that Hollow Knight Silksong finally comes out in 2024, guys. But yes, number 16 on my list. Next up at number 15 is a game that's actually real. At least right now, we know the release date and everything, and we've seen more of it. And that's Unicorn Overlord, March 8th. Now, Unicorn Overlord might have the most weirdest but awesome name ever in video game history, and I like that. I like weird names, especially from this company with Atlas and Vanillaware. And essentially, Unicorn Overlord combines a timeless tactical RPG genre experience with crazy overworld exploration and innovative combat battle mechanics for a unique but epic fantasy experience in that classic, awesome, patented Vanillaware silky art style. So yeah, I am ready for this one. I think that tactics games from Vanillaware and Atlas, that's all good. I want to see more of it, but I think that the things that you can do in this game with the recruitment, there's like angels and there's demons and there's like orcs and dwarfs and humans and different types of races you can mix and match, and you can put together your dream team to go and fight. And when you know it's a tactics RPG like this and Vanillaware, you know there's going to be content on top of content on top of the content, and there's going to be secret areas and different places you can go, and certain missions and quests and different endings and all sorts of stuff that's going to make Unicorn Overlord a very complex but fun game to go through. And in that same Vanillaware style, I haven't played a bad Vanillaware game. They make bangers all the time, from Miramas of the Demon Blade to 13 Sentinels to Odin Sphere. I mean, they make some incredible games. So I'm looking forward to this one, not only because it looks awesome, but also the pedigree of what Vanillaware has done in this industry. Next up is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, coming out January 18th, 2024. And I'll be honest here, guys, I forgot about this game a little bit. I had to do a little bit of research before I did my top 25. And when I say a little bit of research, I mean like hours of research of putting together this list. And Prince of Persia is one of those games I'm like, wait a minute, I'm actually really excited for this game. Like, I'm not sleeping on this one. This one looks like, I would say, Ubisoft's take on Metroid Dread, saying, hey, Metroid Dread 2 years ago came out, set the world on fire, got a nomination for Game of the Year at the Keighley Awards, won Action Game of the Year, and was praised and sold over 3 million copies. Yeah, that's a lot of cheddar for a 2D platformer action game like that. So yeah, with modern tools and techniques, you've got the Rayman team. They are working on this. You can make a game for a decent budget and make tons of money off of it. So I love this here. So essentially, you're kind of having this stylish dashing into action here with this off hero that's not quite the prince, right? Action adventure platformer set in the mythological Persian world, where what you see and what's happening is kind of like at your own, with time and space to manipulate. So I love what they're doing here. Like I said, there's a lot of similarities to Metroid Dread. Now, I don't know if it's going to be as good as Metroid Dread. I don't think it's going to be as good, but based off of who's making this game, the Rayman Legends team, Rayman Origins, I mean, it has a shot to be just as good. Those games are incredible when it comes to what they've done in the platforming genre. So going over to the action, platforming, adventure type of game, I think that it translates really well. So I'm looking forward to Prince of Persia, and I had to just make sure that I do a double check, like, wait a minute, yeah, it still looks awesome. I watched the trailers again, I watched some of the gameplay. Yeah, it plays great. It's 60 frames per second on every platform, Switch included, so very good. Looking forward to the game, January 18th, 2024. Next up at number 13 is not quite a full game, but it's still a game, and that's going to be Splatoon 3, the Side Order DLC, coming out spring 2024. And yeah, this is exciting because it looks like they're taking all of the conventions of what makes Splatoon great to me and adding in an OJ mode. And what an OJ mode is that, yeah, you've got damage numbers popping up, you've got RPG elements, you've got way more upgrades, you've got a slick interface, you've got great colors to match to boot, you've got crazy amounts of replay value, you've got all that style and substance that you would see in a classic RPG or something, but thrown into the Splatoon world. This is what I've been wanting. This is what I think Splatoon can be. And I'll be honest here, guys, don't be surprised if the next Splatoon game isn't a normal Splatoon multiplayer game. I think that they could honestly go in this direction and make a full-on single-player focused Splatoon game, maybe with co-op, local and online, and make it more of an RPG, third-person shooter RPG and everything. I think that this Side Order DLC could be the first start of that, of them splitting off Splatoon into multiple different types of games. You have the single player RPG experience on one hand, then you have the big multiplayer experience on the other, very similar to, like, let's say Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, all of that. I think they honestly can. They've got the team size, they've got the developers, and they've got the clout to do so, and the money is flowing in from Splatoon 3 as people are still buying that game across the world. So Side Order is looking really good on the menu here. Now, next up at number 12 is Sonic Superstars, which comes out on October 17th, 2023, very soon as of the time that I'm recording this video. And Sonic Superstars got its first review in the Famitsu 32 out of 40, so straight 8s, which is really good. Sonic Superstars is, I wouldn't say a return to form because we got Sonic Mania and that was awesome. I think that Sonic Frontiers is going in the right direction for the full-on 3D Sonic, but when it comes to 2D Sonic games, this is the evolution with modern graphics, not doing something like the classic Sonic style, which has always been great. We needed something that was modern yet retro and that was not Sonic 4, and that's what Sonic Superstars is. I think that the game is that good. Now, is it going to be as good as another game that we're going to talk about here from the Plumber? Probably not as good as that game, but I do think that Sonic Superstars is going to be worth a play. It's going to be worth a purchase, maybe not at full price for everyone, but I think that later down the line, you're going to see discounts and sales, and I think it's going to be a great pickup to play. You don't always have to rush out and get everything day one, and you can be anticipating something and not have to rush out and say, I got to play it day one and all this. I'm still excited for it. I still think it's going to be incredible, and I think that the powers and the different abilities and the level design looks solid. It's not like some of the stinkers that we've been getting from Sonic when it comes down to it. So I'm looking forward to Sonic Superstars quite a bit here. Now, next up at number 11 is Star Ocean, the second story R on November 2nd, 2023, avoiding that murderous October month by just a couple days here. But hey, it's all good because Star Ocean has a demo that you can go play right now on the eShop and other platforms, and it's incredible. I love the 2D, 3D style, the pixels and everything. It looks great. It plays smooth whether you're playing on Switch or the PlayStation 5. But I will say this, and this is the thing that still kind of annoys me. I'm anticipating this game because I feel that if this does well, we could see stuff like Xenogears and other PS1 games done in the same vein. But it just kind of irks me because Star Ocean would be great to play on the go with the Nintendo Switch and then transfer that save over and play on your PlayStation 5 or your PC or whatever when you get back. I think it would be so good for that. Unfortunately, I don't think it has that. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section. But that's the only issue. Outside of that, the game looks incredible. The gameplay is incredible. It's just as good. And many say that this is the best Star Ocean game because of the combat, because of the story, because of everything that you can do. And I played the demo and it's incredible. It has some great fluidity to the combat and to the style and to the writing. So I'm looking forward to this quite a bit. Now we get into the top 10 here, guys. We've got number 10. Question marks, Metroid Prime 4, maybe, maybe not. I'm guessing that it's 2024. And if it is 2024, it's going to be exciting. And the reason why it's not higher up on my list is because we don't know, and I'm just kind of guessing, but at the same time, we haven't seen anything. I mean, the fact that it made it up to number 10 and we haven't really seen anything is just incredible because that shows you how much I'm anticipating this game. So it has to be 2024. I'm guessing it's going to be a cross-gen game, and that's also what makes it more exciting. It's probably cross-gen. We're going to see some type of crazy Nintendo Switch 2 version in addition to a Switch version because at its base, it's a Switch game. It's not a Switch 2 game. So we can see this in all of its glory, whether you're playing it on the Nintendo Switch or you're playing it on the Switch 2, but I want to see what they've taken all this time to make. Metroid Prime is a game to me. I've never been as big on first-person games, but Metroid Prime is a game. Even though I'm fighting through sickness and illness and motion sickness, I'll still go through and play the games. That's how much I like Metroid Prime. I don't really do that with any other games. I've stopped playing first-person games for the most part because I just get too motion sick, but I will go through and play this game because I like it that much. So 2024, crossing my fingers, I hope. Nintendo, please help us. Anyway, coming in at number 9 is Persona 3 Reload, February 2nd, 2024. Oh, baby, it's Persona. It's back. It looks great. It's got enhancements. It's got additions. It's got a few takeaways from previous ones that have already released, but that doesn't matter because the game looks so good on modern systems. It's going to be a ton of fun. They've shown off the remix music. They've shown off the graphics. They've shown off the abilities. They've shown off exactly how in-depth that this Unreal Engine 4 remake is of Persona 3. So I'm very excited to see how all of this is going to play out. February is just going to kick our butts. I mean, there are a lot of games coming out in the first couple months, not even just February, but just the first couple months of 2024. There's a lot to anticipate here, and Persona 3 Reload is definitely one of those games that I'm going to be reloading into my PlayStation 5 and playing on February 2nd. Now, next up at number 8 is Metaphor R Fantasia. And once again, it's coming out 2024. I had to do a double take when I was doing my live stream, and I was like, all right, what are you guys looking forward to? Then somebody said this game. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to include this game. And oh my God, it's actually high up on my list. It's in my top 10. That's how cool this game looks. Now, a little bit sketchy with some of the stuff when we first saw the trailer. That's okay. This game has been in development hell and went through various versions and iterations, but now it's back. What you do in this game, you write your destiny. You rise above the fear implanted in your brain and in your heart to step into this crazy fantasy world unlike anything that you have ever seen before. Unsettling mysteries. You have this kingdom that stands on the precipice of disaster. You have to embark on this crazy journey to overcome all of the obstacles here, forging some good bonds. This game looks crazy. It's from the Persona team, like the main line. We're not talking about spin-offs here. We're talking about the team. Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5. This is it. This is their next creation. So I have to play this game, plain and simple. I mean, I have to play it. It doesn't quite look as good as Persona 5 in terms of the themes and stuff, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be. It's different, okay? So looking forward to it. We'll see when it comes out. I think there might be a Switch 2 version, man. We have to wait and see. 2024, no release date on there. Heck, we don't know if it might even get delayed to 2025. Who knows at this point? They've already delayed it so far, so we will see. But yes, 2024 for Metaphor R Fantasia, and I hope I'm saying the name right. Next up at number 7 is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, February 1st, 2024. And I didn't say this before, but if you've made it this far into the video, sometimes like a lot of my games that are more anticipated, it's like, yo, we can play them like soon, right? Like we've got release dates and everything, and they're dope RPGs like this game right here. Grand Blue back in the skies. They await all of you, my friends. You can form a massive 4-team party from an awesome roster of Skyfarers where you slash or shoot or hex your way. That's RPG talk. That's good RPG talk, guys. Trust me. You want to do that in your RPGs to victory against the treacherous foes in this awesome action RPG. You can take on quests solo, or you have online play as well, co-op for up to 4 players. I am looking forward to this game, and there's a number of reasons why. One, it was in development smorgasbord hell, right? There was so many different things that was going on with this game, and there was different developers. You had Platinum at one point, then they were off of it. We're gonna take it back to Psy Games, and they're gonna do it, and all this different stuff that was happening. But finally, it all came together, and it's looked good. Even like years ago when they showed it up, I'm like, yeah, that looks good. Looks like it's ready to go, and it's like, no, not ready to go. So you know this game is polished with a capital P on there. It's going to be polished. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a lot of stuff, and I'm looking forward to this game being better than Tales of Arise. Like, I like Tales of Arise, but there were some things that I'm just like, not so much about that. I think this game could actually surpass it in many different ways from what I've seen. Now, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I think that this game is going to be really, really good. Grand Blue isn't as popular here in the West. It's mainly a mobile franchise that got huge popularity, but it's starting to get more and more popular as they've built their way into the PlayStation/PC communities and games out there. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. Next up at number 6 is Paper Mario: The ThousandYear Door. Let's go, 2024. Guys, boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, peeps, they, them, whatever you identify, whatever you are, everybody, listen to me right now. Mario RPG is back on consoles. Say it with me. Paper Mario RPG is back on consoles for the first time. The RPG experience on the Nintendo Switch. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Intelligent Systems, even though they've been making the Paper Mario games since then, they're back in their wheelhouse with Paper Mario: The ThousandYear Door coming sometime in 2024. And I'm excited for this because we've seen fans lament the newer Paper Mario games. And I'll be completely honest, I wasn't crying and complaining like that because I'm not the biggest Paper Mario fan. But at the same time, I understood. I played and beat Paper Mario. I played and beat Paper Mario: The ThousandYear Door. And I've played and beat the Paper Mario games after they moved away from that on console, and they're not as good. Paper Mario: The ThousandYear Door is the best Paper Mario game in my opinion. And I know people love Super Paper Mario and other Paper Mario games. I get that. But to me, this is the best one, and they're doing a full-on, either incredibly high-end remaster or remake of this game. And that's what you need to do. this will be the ultimate test. Paper Mario fans, RPG fans, Intelligent Systems fans, this is your time to shine. If you've been one of those guys that really hate the direction of Paper Mario and where they went, this is the game to buy to show them this is the direction that they need to go. If this game does 5 million units, which it definitely could with that massive install base by 2024, I think that they know that Paper Mario has to go in this direction. They'd be incredibly silly to not go in that direction, especially after the Origami King. Great graphics, great writing, great sound, great all of that, but the gameplay just confusing and giving you headaches after like the first hour or two. I thought it was great for like the first hour or two, but every single time you battle, I mean, no, I'm good on that. So Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door coming 2024. And it looks like there's going to be some enhancements outside of just the graphics and sound and all. It looks like there might be some new content as well. So next up at number 5, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, February 29th, 2024. I mean, it's Final Fantasy Remake, but it's back and it's different. And the boys are back in town. We've got Cloud. We've got Sephiroth that you can actually play as. We've got Zack back in full action here. I love it because it changes the conventions of what we thought with Final Fantasy. It brings the stuff that we love about the Final Fantasy franchise with multiple party members, with magic-based systems, with dual text, double attacks, switching characters, all these dope things, mini games, side quests, really open-ended areas, all this awesome stuff that has made Final Fantasy over the decades is back with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I cannot be more thrilled to play this game. I think it's going to be an incredible experience. I think that it's going to have some crazy story stuff, and I think that the pacing for this game is going to be the difference because Final Fantasy VII Remake was padded and paced terribly, but I think that with this game, with the 100 hours of content all around and 30 to 40 hours to beat the main game, they structured it to the point where, like, okay, we don't have to pad things out because we're not building all the graphics and the systems and everything. We have to just go through, take what we had, make it better, but then also expand upon what made the first game great, since they're building off the base of what FF7 Remake did. So very excited, and that's why it's number 5 on my list here. Coming in at number 4 is a classic Super Mario RPG on November 17, 2023. And I have this one a little bit above Final Fantasy and some of the other games because we're going to be playing it soon. And this is a certified platinum hits banger when it comes to how good this game is. If you have not played Super Mario RPG, trust me, you'll want to play it. This is the funniest Mario game of all time. The writing in this game is awesome. This is a game developed by Square Enix back in the day for the Super Nintendo, and I beat this game like 10 to 15 times. But the reason why I'm excited for a remake of this game is because this game has not been re-released many times. We had like a Wii Virtual Console release, a Super Nintendo Classic release, and that was it. It wasn't like they remastered it beforehand, started putting it out on every single Virtual Console and all this stuff. No, there was barely anything. So they haven't touched it in so many years, and they're bringing it back. Full remake with better graphics and with additions and updates. There's a boss rush mode as well. You can switch between the classic music and the remastered music. I think that this game is going to show so many people that Mario in the RPG universe is a universe that you want to play in as. And there's a bunch of different secrets and funny stuff that happens. So you want to play this game, guys. It's really good and it's worth it to me, at least, because I think that Super Mario RPG is that great. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they've done because they added a super meter, which was great, and they've added a couple other little small tweaks in terms of visually how the game plays or how it looks when you're playing the game. So I want to see all those little things and details in this game. So yes, Super Mario RPG makes it number 4 on my list. Coming in at a surprise number 3, now I'm surprised how high it was, is Princess Peach Showtime, March 22nd, 2024. And the reason why I'm so excited for this is because Princess Peach is an incredible character. She's one of my favorite Nintendo characters, and she needed a game. After what happened with the Mario movie and how awesome she was in there, she needed her own game. It's been so long. Super Princess Peach, how long was that? That was like the DS era. It's been like a decade plus since we've seen it. So we needed to have a modern and Princess Peach game. But what blew me away was the style of the game. It's not just Princess Peach floating around and doing the normal things that you you'd expect her to do if she had her own game. She has whole worlds or plays or areas that are different in gameplay styles, from detective to a cook or a baker to a sword fighter to all sorts of stuff and more that they didn't even show. It looks colorful, it looks vibrant, the graphics look good, looks like it runs good. This is exactly what I wanted to see, even though I didn't know it, but this is exactly what I wanted to see with a Princess Peach game. This is awesome, and I think that the game is going to be incredible. Now, overall, is it going to have a higher score than a lot of the games that I listed already here with Metroid Prime or Persona or Final Fantasy? Probably not, but I'm anticipating it because it was completely out of nowhere, and it's just something new and something different. I just want to see Princess Peach in the limelight, and this is her time. That's why it's called Showtime, man. So exciting stuff. Brand new game, brand new style for Princess Peach. I'm guessing that Nintendo wanted to make a game where there's various different like cutout plays and worlds and stuff like that, and it was something else, and they're like, you know what? Put Princess Peach in there, let's do it, because that's how Nintendo does their video games. So this is awesome that Nintendo actually thinks about the gameplay ideas first and puts a character on it, and that's definitely what happened here. So next up at number 2, we're getting into it here, guys. Super Mario Bros. Wonder on October 20th, 2023. This game's coming out very soon as of the time that I'm recording this video, and yes, it's exciting. Now, I've played this game multiple times, and I've talked about it multiple times on my channel, discussing it versus Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, where this game can land. Does it have a Game of the Year shot when it comes down to it? It's probably not, obviously, but nomination contender, I think so. Now, when I played it at Nintendo Live, here's what made it awesome. 1, the controls were silky smooth. You have complete control of Mario and friends at any time. 2, the level design was much improved over what we saw with New Super Mario Bros. There is wonder, there is excitement, there is variety, there is just a certain flair and style that punches New Super Mario Bros. Right in the mouth and out of there, like Donkey Kong, the wind-up punch. It's got that. In addition to all of the evolution of 2D Mario, the badge system is a game changer. You're going to be mixing, matching, swapping different badges to do different things in different levels, along with Wonder Seeds. It creates a gameplay experience for the 2D Mario game that we have never seen before. This is not cap. This is not exaggerating. This is the game when you play it. They were given pretty much unlimited time. They were given resources. The Mario team, the 2D Mario team, was able to put in so many new ideas from the young developers, mix them with the decades-long developers over at Nintendo to create something that is a perfect fusion and blend of what we've gotten before with old school Mario and new ideas all mixed in that even create the illusion that it has the exploration of a 3D Mario like Odyssey based off of what some outlets have stated about the game. And we're going to be able to play it very soon if you're not already playing it by the time that you watch this video. To me, it's that good. So Super Mario Bros. Wonder had to make it to number 2 on my list. And coming in at number 1, Deca Police. And 2023 question marks. I don't think it's coming out this year. Level 5 is not saying the release date right now. They're just saying 2023. So I think it's going to be 2024, but it doesn't matter when the game comes out, because from what we've seen, from what people have played at Tokyo Game Show and everything, Deca Police is that new RPG to play, that new IP, that level 5 polish and shine. If you love the PS2 era of RPGs, it takes that style, it completely modernizes it and puts it in an active new type of game. Now, this game was supposed to be the evolution of Professor Leighton, but it got so far off from what they wanted to do with the Professor Leighton game, they said, you know what, let's just make a real Professor Leighton game, and this can be something brand new. I love that. Some of my favorite games of all time started out that way. Remember Devil May Cry? Started out as a Resident Evil game, and then it got so different, Hideki Kamiya was like, all right, and Capcom was like, just make a new IP, and bam, we have Devil May Cry. This could be the same thing right here when it comes to something that was supposed to be one game or a franchise that we know, and it takes a wild turn and turns into the next great franchise. Deca Police has that with its gameplay. It has that with its mechanics. The graphics look great. The style detective work is awesome. The gameplay all comes together from what we've seen. I had a big breakdown where I said, is it a game of the year style of game? And yes, I think that Level 5 has that juice. They've done it before with their games. Stuff like Ni no Kuni has been incredible. Dark Cloud, they know how to make those type of games. So to me, Deca Police is the next great new IP RPG out there, and it's not coming out this year, even though they say 2023. So in 2024, it's going to be lit. So that's going to wrap it up here, guys, for my top 25 most anticipated Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. It's coming to everything here. Let me know what games you are most excited for in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out some of my other top 25 lists, like my top 25 best Nintendo Switch first-party games and my top 25 underrated gems on the Nintendo Switch. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.